yelled avalanche, and then it overtook them rather quickly.
Right now at 6, investigators giving us our first account of the moments before an avalanche killed at least 8 backcountry skiers, and officials say the recovery efforts became personal.
This has not only been challenging for our community, it's been a challenging rescue, but it's also been challenging emotionally for our team.
Plus, our latest storm left Bay Area peaks covered in snow, how locals tried to get a glimpse as the region braces for the next round. And a surprising car theft in Oakland, how Mayor Barbara Lee's city-owned vehicle ended up in Vallejo. And later.
Every single time we get into negotiations, it's like we're escalating.
Why Oakland teachers say they could be close to walking out of class for the 3rd time in 4 years.
This is CBS News Bay Area with Juliette Goodrich.
Thanks for joining us at 6. A rescue mission now, a recovery effort in the Sierra. One person still missing and presumed dead following the deadly avalanche, and the weather is still too treacherous for rescuers to continue their search. So right now, search and rescue crews did find the bodies of 8 people, making this the deadliest avalanche in the U.S. in almost 50 years. 6 people were rescued last night. The Nevada County Sheriff described the conditions the volunteer search and rescue group were facing.
Horrific conditions, just whiteout conditions. We train in that area, so they knew the terrain. That doesn't make it easier for them when the snow conditions and the wind conditions. So what was going through my mind is hopefully they can get there to the 6 that were sheltering in place.
To reach the survivors, the volunteer Tahoe Nordic search and rescue team had to ski about 2 miles after it wasn't safe enough for them to take their snowcat. We did learn one of the people who died was married to one of the members' rescue team. We want to give you an idea of where this all happened. The group was on a 3-day trek. It was near Castle Peak, and that's just north of I-80, not too far from Truckee. Officials say the group had been staying at some huts near Frog Lake, and they were on their way back toward the trailhead when the avalanche hit. Ryan Yamamoto has more on the dangerous search and what we know about the victims and survivors.
Mother Nature does not seem to it doesn't seem to matter, right? No matter how prepared you are, no matter how experienced you are.
A frantic search in whiteout conditions after an avalanche near Castle Peak outside of Truckee. Today, the grim update.
8 of the 9 additional skiers have been located deceased. We are still looking for one of the members at this time.
They were part of a group of 15 skiers and guides. Overnight, crews reached 6 survivors in a backcountry area. They had sheltered in place and waited hours for rescuers to arrive.
It was reported by the individuals that survived that they were attempting to go out as a group, that someone saw the avalanche, yelled avalanche, and then it overtook them rather quickly.
The area is known for deep snow and rugged terrain, with no trails and no ski patrol.
It took us a while to get our equipment into the location before we could deploy into the backcountry.
The difficult search hitting close to home for the crew, tasked with finding the missing.
One of the 9 missing decedents is a spouse of one of our Tahoe Nordic search and rescue team members. It's been a challenging rescue, but it's also been challenging emotionally for our team and our organization.
The urgent call from Sierra officials now.
Please avoid the Sierras during this current storm and in the upcoming days. Avoid mountain travel. It's treacherous. Avoid the backcountry.
The conditions in the Sierra just as dangerous today as yesterday, and just within the last couple of hours, Caltrans closed I-80 eastbound again because of spinouts and unsafe driving conditions. Westbound is closed to all tractor trailers at the Nevada state line. Chief Meteorologist Paul Hagan joining us now, and Paul, it's about to get even more treacherous there again.
Yeah, more snow on the way, and I want to talk about the conditions that led to that avalanche yesterday. And it's not just snow in high elevations. We're looking for specific terrain, and the slope is what matters here. We're looking for those steep slopes between a 35 and 45 degree down angle. It makes the snow that exists more slippery, even if it hasn't been there for a while. And the snow that's there has been there for a while because we went through that long dry stretch from January into early February that compacted the snow down to an icy crust that's not likely to have enough friction to hold on to the new snow. We also look towards the leeward, the downwind side of the mountains, because the snow blows onto the windward side of the mountain. Some of it blows over the top and then settles down. So even heftier accumulations on those leeward slopes do continue to add up on top of those slippery and very steep surfaces. Then those weak slabs in place, it just takes a little bit of human activity to get the avalanche started. And once it starts, there's really nothing that's going to stop it. Just the sheer weight and speed of that snow results in a tragedy like we saw yesterday, like we saw a few years ago. Let's talk about what's going to be happening around the Bay Area. And we're in a relative lull in the action right now. There are still scattered showers, especially in the Santa Cruz Mountains. But this activity, not too widespread, not too heavy. Another wave of rain, though, is going to be developing and heading towards us as we head through tonight, largely intensifying just after midnight. A wave of heavier downpours is going to be moving in between midnight and 2 a.m. That's when this image freezes, and you can see some snow falling on some of the peaks around the Bay Area once again. This heaviest rain is going to move off to the east in time for the morning commute, but there's still going to be leftover off and on showers and gusty conditions as we head through the Thursday morning rush. So it allows some extra time as you're heading out the door. We are going to add up about another ½ inch to inch of additional rain on top of what has accumulated since Saturday, which has been anywhere from 2 to 6 inches of total rainfall so far. We're going to stay in this active pattern through about the middle of next week. Got to look at the 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Paul, thank you. Now, that low-lying snow is not something people in the Bay Area wake up to very often. Some local peaks were covered this morning. In fact, this is video from up on Mount Hamilton, which got much more than just a dusting. And that is where we find our Brad Hamilton. He made the drive up the mountain, joins us live now. What do you see? Is that snow? What am I seeing dropping there?
Am I back in Cleveland, Juliet?
I know,
we're
right?
seeing a bunch of snow up here. A snowplow driver actually told us up the peak all the way, said he's seeing about 3 feet of snow and ice. Down here, we're about at 3,400 feet. We're still seeing some snow, not as much as obviously near the top. We're going to have Jim kind of show you around a little bit here. But unfortunately, for a lot of people that were coming to get a glimpse of the snow themselves, they were not able to. Road closures here shutting that down, but that is for the safety of everyone. Today, parts of Mount Hamilton were covered in snow and ice. Our crews were allowed up the winding road that extends near the peak. The further we drove, the more snow we saw. Angeli Velasquez was hoping to see the same thing.
We kind of wanted to go into the park and see if they allowed us to go in, but we can't even see the snow. You can barely even see it from here.
But she and many others had their road trip stopped at Joseph Grant County Park, a collection of Caltrans, county parks, and highway patrol officials blocking off access to the rest of Mount Hamilton Road due to the dangerous driving conditions. Angeli says that she heard about the snow from the news. Having done this before, she knew there was a possibility that they'd have the hour-long trip cut short. But a chance to take the Jeep out on this was worth taking a shot.
With the Jeep, I think it's funner, but sometimes with like chains and everything, sometimes we take a van. It's a little bit harder. But yeah, with the Jeep, I think it's pretty fun.
A Caltrans snowplow driver confirmed that he's seen up to 3 feet of snow near the peak of Mount Hamilton. A county park ranger told us they expect this road closure to be in place until Friday. For the Hernandez family, that meant settling for a selfie near the base of Hamilton.
We're a little bit disappointed, but we're glad that we came and it was kind of an adventure, I guess.
As for Angeli, she was disappointed too. But for her, even a glimpse from afar is well worth the tank of gas.
Obviously not the same, right? But at least we saw a little bit of snow this year.
Again, officials stressing that they are doing these road closures out of the precaution for everybody, including their snowplow drivers. They have been very busy. We've been seeing them come up and down as they're trying to clear the top of the peak near Mount Hamilton. Again, this is something that everyone is kind of taking day by day. Officials saying they are hoping to get the road back open on Friday, but they also stress that conditions can change really quickly. Juliet?
It sure can. Okay, it looks beautiful behind you, that is. I know you are from Cleveland, so humor us. You don't have gloves on right now. I know you're not that cold. We think it's cold out. Can you kind of give us a temperature gauge?
Yeah, Juliet, it's funny. I've already softened. I've been here 6 months, and I do think it's cold. Don't let the look fool you. It's about 30 degrees up here. Honestly, it's beautiful, and I wish people could come up here. I know we can't, but it is truly a sight to see. And yeah, manageable out here. I think Jim's getting a little cold, so he probably wants me to stop talking.
All right, so Brad Hamilton on Mount Hamilton. All right, thanks so much. Thanks, guys. Safe travels back. All right, we'll get him some gloves because he's softened up being a Californian now. We'll stay on top of the storms hitting the Bay Area and California this week. And for the first alert weather anytime, be sure to check the free CBS News app or our website, kpix.com. All right, on to other news. The Oakland Police Officers Union says the city-owned SUV used to transport Mayor Barbara Lee has been recovered in Vallejo after it was stolen from City Hall. They say the keys were swiped from the mayor's office. So the Oakland Police Department wouldn't officially say whose car was taken, only that a government vehicle was stolen from City Hall, adding that it was recovered within a few hours and that they are following up on potential leads. The union spokesperson, Sam Singer, says the department has a warrant out for the suspected thief. And Mayor Lee released a statement that says, in part, quote, no one in Oakland should have to worry about their car being stolen, whether they're a resident, city worker, or the mayor. Public safety is a priority across our entire city. San Francisco Zoo has named Cassandra Costello as its new CEO, and she was brought in as one of the zoo's interim leaders and immediately made co-CEO after the former director stepped down in August. Mayor Lurie called for the former director's resignation after a year of controversies and investigations. Costello takes over as permanent CEO and executive director of the zoo as it works to overcome some concerns about management, animal welfare, and worker safety. So Costello is considered a City Hall veteran who held roles at SF Travel and the San Francisco Recreation and Park Department. All right, still ahead here at 6. Oakland teachers could be on the brink of another strike. Why union reps say this happens so often. They keep the picket lines and the picket signs from their previous walkouts. Also, a Northern California city bans itself from doing business with Elon Musk. Why the whole move is mostly symbolic at this point. In the East Bay, 2 separate teachers' unions are holding rallies this evening as they brace for possible strikes. So members of the Oakland Education Association, they gathered at the Lake Merritt Amphitheater, while Berkeley teachers and supporters rallied at the Civic Center Park. It comes as the unions continue their ongoing negotiations for a new contract. Our Kelsey Thord has more on their demands.
It's harmful. In just the 12 years Kampala Taze-Rancifer has been a teacher for Oakland Unified School District, she's already gone on strike multiple times.
It's sad. I'm just going to be real about it. Like, I think it's disheartening, and it lowers morale.
A strike was narrowly avoided last school year. Back in 2023, teachers went on a 7-day strike, and the year before, a 1-day strike took place in April of 2022. Rallying and striking has become so common in the district that the union representing the teachers, the Oakland Education Association, keeps all of their picket signs from previous strikes stored in a massive pile in a garage to reuse whenever they're on the brink of another strike.
Every single time we get into negotiations, it's like we're escalating, and to a potential strike. Those things do not need to happen in order for us to get a contract. It doesn't happen in every other school district.
Kampala is now the president of the Oakland Education Association. She's representing thousands of teachers as they once again try to negotiate for better pay and working conditions.
We just have felt like we haven't gotten an adequate response from the district.
Kampala says OEA has been negotiating with the district for over a year without any real progress. To show that they are serious and willing to strike again if they must, the union organized a demonstration at Lake Merritt.
Together, we can change this district.
Oakland teachers weren't the only ones making their voices heard. Their neighboring teachers union in Berkeley also organized a rally as contract negotiations with their district too reach a boiling point.
Really coming to a head where we really need to see the district show up with some serious proposals, and we think that this rally in March is really going to make a difference.
The next step in Berkeley is a fact-finding hearing Friday, 10 days after a public report is released. Berkeley's teachers union can vote on whether to authorize a strike. Oakland's teachers union is currently taking a strike vote, which ends on Friday. If that vote comes back overwhelmingly for going on strike, Campolo says another teachers' strike could be imminent.
This isn't something that we want to do. This is something that the district has yet again forced us to get to this point. We should not have to lift our voice in this way to be able to negotiate a contract.
We've reached out to both school districts and have yet to hear back from either of them. Meanwhile, in San Francisco, students were back in the classroom today for the first time since the teachers' strike shut down schools for 5 days last week. A tentative agreement includes fully paid family health care for educators starting in 2027, wage increases, and changes aimed at easing special education workloads. District leaders say they will tap reserve funds to cover the cost of the agreement while they work on a long-term plan to stabilize SFUSD's budget. The City of Davis is drawing a hard line with Elon Musk. Last night, the City Council passed a resolution blocking investments in Musk-controlled companies, including Tesla, SpaceX, and XAI. So currently, the city has no investments in these companies, so the ban only applies to future deals. Council members also said X will not be used for official communications unless it is an emergency. Officials cited concerns over labor violations, workplace safety, and regulatory noncompliance. Starlink is exempt from the policy since the city uses it for emergency services. Coming up, we're getting a quick breather from the stormy weather, but we're about to get hit with more. Paul will be back with how much rain we can expect and how long it could stick around.
We've been in this wet weather pattern for several days, and we've got another day of generally wet weather to go. Fortunately, in the dog walking forecast, we have a picture perfect for another wet, chilly day. Duke, Dottie, and Daisy are appropriately attired for the morning rain that'll give way to some afternoon showers that'll give way to late afternoon clearing. Now, we're not going to warm up a whole lot, but if your pups are going a little stir crazy, looks like late tomorrow afternoon, you will have a chance to get them out for a little bit of exercise. Let's take a look at what's happening on First Alert Doppler right now, and we still have some scattered showers out there this evening. It's not too widespread, but just these intermittent hit or miss showers are going to continue to prowl the area through this evening. Not entirely a washout, but be flexible with anything you want to get done outside this evening. Grab the umbrella and the rain jacket on the way out the door. And Futurecast through midnight shows the next wave of rain approaching the coast. And that heaviest rain is going to fall. Well, most of us are sleeping tonight. It's going to be from midnight through about 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. In fact, let's look at that time frame on Futurecast, and you can see those heavier downpours progressing through. Not enough for a significant flooding threat, but there may be a few flooded intersections, on and off ramps may collect some water during those pre-sunrise hours of Thursday morning. And then for the morning commute, we're largely going to be seeing some leftover showers. Locally heavy downpour is still possible, still allows some extra time as you're heading out the door, but the showers become fewer and farther between during the afternoon. Still possible for most of the afternoon, but they quiet down after the sun goes down tomorrow evening, and we are going to see dry conditions taking hold for a couple of days, Friday and for most of Saturday. So how much rain are we talking about on top of what has already added up over the last several days, which has been 2 to 6 inches of rain? We're talking another ½ inch to 1 inch of total rainfall for the northern half of the Bay Area tonight and through the day tomorrow. For the southern half of the Bay Area, the amounts are going to be pretty similar. Most of us a ½ inch to 1 inch of additional rain, but a bit more in the Santa Cruz Mountains, as you would expect, closer to 2 inches of additional rain around Ben Lomond. And we're not done with the rain chances just yet. In the Sierra, they're still under a winter storm warning in the bright shade of pink. The kind of faded shade of pink is a winter weather advisory on the downwind slopes. And still the avalanche warning remains in effect around Lake Tahoe. At lake level, they're expecting another 8 to 12 inches of snow, but above 7,000 feet in elevation, another couple feet of accumulation still likely. Back to the Bay Area's weather, we're going to be tracking some gusty winds as that heaviest rain moves through tonight, and even after the heaviest rain moves out tomorrow. Some gusts in the 30 to 40 mile an hour range likely through much of the day on Thursday. Both hands on the wheel as you're making your way out and about, but those winds quiet down quickly tomorrow evening. The next burst of winds is going to head our way with the next good chance of rain. That's not going to be until Monday night into Tuesday. At the moment, the long-range forecast models aren't too impressed with the wind energy associated with that next system. That still has time to change. We're talking the last couple days of the 7-day forecast, and the long-range precipitation outlook calls for anywhere from another inch to potentially 3+ inches of rain even after we get done with this next wave tonight and tomorrow. So the bulk of that is going to fall from Monday night into Tuesday, but we still have plenty of wet days in the 7-day forecast. Let's take a look at that 7-day outlook and a couple of alert days tomorrow, especially in the morning with those locally heavy downpours. And then the system that was headed our way early next week has slowed down a little bit. Still showers possible Sunday and Monday, but the bulk of the rain moves in late Monday into Monday night, with rain and some gusty winds still likely on Tuesday, tapering off to showers by next Wednesday. But again, it's the tail end of the 7-day forecast. There are dozens, hundreds of things that can change between now and then. So
yes.
We'll keep you updated.
Okay, year of the fire horse.
It feels like every bit of it.
It came through. And to our studio audience, did you know you had an audience today?
I did. They have their backs turned to us.
Nice job.
Yeah. They're watching us on the monitor.
That's true. All right, Paul, thank you. When we come back, how one local organization is celebrating Black History Month by looking out for the physical and mental health of a marginalized community. In honor of Black History Month, the San Francisco Transgender District is holding its annual Health and Wellness Community Fair for Black and Brown, trans, and gender non-conforming people. So the event is being held at the San Francisco Public Library tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. This is the Transgender District's 3rd annual fair, but the first one held during Black History Month. Partnered with 40 organizations to provide physical and mental health screenings while honoring the Black transgender legacy of community, love, and resilience.
And our existence is a form of resilience that we have had to uphold throughout history. We think it is imperative that we provide safe and welcoming spaces to instill hope in our community and to let them know that they are not alone.
The Transgender District is also celebrating ballroom culture with its Let's Chat conversation series by examining how joy and creativity can impact health outcomes. We're also celebrating the stories and accomplishments of African Americans here in the Bay Area with our Black History Month special hosted by Vern Glenn. It airs tomorrow at 7:30 here on CBS News Bay Area or streaming on the free CBS News app. All right, CBS Evening News is next on KPIX. We're always streaming on our streaming service. I'll see you at 7 o'clock with more news just for you.